the thing. I thought that was only on Zoom. Because I was on James. I don't know if you know who JLJ Media is, but I was on his Zoom, and I got a call, and it just completely turned off my headphones. And I had to sit there and sign out and then sign back in. It was so irritating.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's one word for it. But anyway, the hell were we what the hell what were we talking about last time? Where were we
Oh,
at?
how much you love Nina Reeves?
Oh yes, I love that. I love that. That's good. I like that. I like that. That's good. You're clever. You know what? I will give you that. That is good. She's sharp. I like that. Oh, I had an audio issue, Spider Quake, but it's all good now as long as no one calls me. Um, so yeah, you had those two hook up, Adam and Sally, and we know at this point Sharon and Nick are gonna probably go back together.
As they should
So
be, yeah.
yeah,
They're together.
everyone is exactly everyone's gonna get what they want.
I would watch more often if I get at least one couple I want together. Phyllis is trying to mess up Daniel and Lily already. I can't stand that.
Oh, Phyllis, 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 Phyllis.
I can't stand
I
her.
don't, I
She's
don't
like
even understand Heather.
Carly of the Young Restless.
She's more like, yeah, she is like Carly. She's like Carly and a little bit like Nina. Lord B says, I'll be back later all right, I look forward to seeing you later on. Um, yeah, she's a little bit like Nina and she's like Carly because I know Carly used to be a schemer back in the day. Um, and like Nina because Phyllis can be somewhat, um, dingbackish. Like she could be a dingbat. Um, so I feel like it's a fuse of like messiness from like real, from both characters.
Yeah, the worst quality of both characters.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was trying not to say that, but yeah. But so you've been watching B&B, right?
Yep,
Eric versus Ridge. Who's your money on?
Eric.
Team Eric. Okay.
Yep.
See, my whole thing is like people keep coming. There's some people that keep coming at Eric, and I'm like, Rich is just being completely disrespectful to him. The dude founded the company,
What?
and he's not there trying to push him out, talking about, oh, you need to go golf and hang out with Donna and just relax and stuff. I'm like, why? He can still do his job. I mean, yeah, he doesn't know about the whole hand thing, but as far as he knows, he can still do his job. So it's like, why are you
Yeah.
trying to push him out the office? I mean, out of his job, you already pushed him out the office pretty much at this point. Like everyone uses the office except for him. So
Yeah. So that's messed up. Well, I can kind of understand where Rich is coming from. He's like, oh, you did all this work, so, you know, just relax, But, I'm more on Eric's side because, he started the whole thing, from the ground up. It's still his place. He still is able to do what he wants to do with the company. So why can't he work? He's not ready to walk away. It's not like he's doing anything to hurt the company. Because if he's doing something to hurt the company, I can understand wanting to get rid of him. But he's still capable of doing stuff. So why not?
yeah. See, and my whole thing also is I feel like it's misunderstanding. Like Ridge explained to RJ. No, he explained it to Brooke why he didn't want to start a new line because they already have something going on. So he doesn't want to stop what he's doing to start just randomly working on Eric's project. But I feel like if he knew why Eric wanted to do this, he may make an exception or be like, okay, we could sit there and we can work something out or whatever. But it's also just a lack of miscommunication as well.
Yeah, Eric should just tell Rich what's going on, you know? I mean, it's gonna come out eventually, so might as well. Especially if Brooke finds
Yeah,
out about it first, you know. She likes to tell everybody's business.
yeah, pretty
Girl.
much. That's
She wastes no time going to tell Ridge when she found out about Eric. I'm like, oh my goodness, girl.
well,
She
she did. Yeah, she did that with Hope. You know, as far as with the whole Thomas thing, and Hope was sitting there looking at her mom like, "Yo, really? Like, really? I told you to sit there and keep this a secret. Like, well, you know, I can't sit there and lie to my husband. Okay, well, she didn't
really
ask you to lie. She just exactly she didn't ask you to lie. But you know, I don't know. What
Lord.
do you think? What do you think of Luna? What do you think of Luna? Luna.
I like her already. And she already started trouble. It's like she's just on the show. The show's only like 18 minutes without commercials, and she appears, and then already something shady going on with her. Whoever on the phone tell her to stay away from the Forsters. So I'm like, is she connected with somebody in the past that had problems with the Forsters? Or just some random family that had something wrong with the Forsters, or they just don't like them somehow? I don't know. So is she there because she wants to be there, or is she there because she wants to try to get revenge on the Forsters? So that's what I'm interested in.
Maybe. You know, she knows RJ though. You know, she's all like, "Oh, I follow your content and everything like that," and um,
Yeah. Oh Lord, I hope she's not a
which is
creepy stalker. She's like, "Oh, I love your sunsets." I'm like, "Oh Lordy," but she's cute, and RJ likes her, so he needs something to do.
oh, okay.
He needs a
Well, let
story.
me ask. No, she does. But let me just ask you just a hypothetical question. Let's say you weren't married and I don't know, you were somewhere and some guy was like, "Oh, you know, I sit there, you know, I watch your content all the time, and you know, I think you're really funny and this, that, and third." How would you feel?
I get that a lot, actually. I do have somebody who really enjoys my content. I doubt he watches soaps. He just thinks that I'm cute and funny, so he just watches my videos, and I'm like, "That's so sweet." He always leaves really nice comments. I'm like, "Oh," I'm
But
like, "Make me
but
blush."
but have you seen it? But has he seen you in real life though?
Nah.
Yeah, but that's exactly that's the question. Of like,
Uh,
that's why I said like, let's say if you weren't married or whatever, and you were somewhere out and about, or you were working on doing something, and somebody was, you know, and the guy walked up to you and was like, "Oh, I sit there, I watch all your content all the time and stuff like that. You know, would you like to hang out or something like how would you feel?"
um, I would be. Well, generally a shy person, so I probably would be blushing and trying not to, just like giggling and just I don't know. But I guess I would hang out with them.
Would you feel like it'll be? I don't want to sit there and say a disconnect, but like you know, if they've been watching your stuff for a while, they know you. It's like they know you more than you know them. So would that be odd?
Yeah, but I would want to try to get to know them. Yeah, so I'd be
Huh?
interested. Like, what do you like? Not just about me, of course. I'd be very interested to know. But how do they find my channel? What's their likes, dislikes? Because they're watching my channel for a reason. What brought them to my channel? How did they find it? And see what else we could have in common. Yeah,
Okay.
you never know.
Um. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it on B&B. So that's the thing about B&B. B&B is just like I said, I'm happy that they're giving RJ a story because he's just been there doing absolutely nothing, just running around, talking to Hope about her marriage and talking to Liam about her marriage, and it's like you just give this dude something to do. And they're giving us a new character. I was like, whoa, B&B is actually really spoiling us. Like,
A new character? Wow. Because you just see the same people. It's like you forgot about Paris and Zende. I thought Paris and Thomas were gonna be a thing for a little bit, and then maybe Hope would see them together and get jealous, but no,
Yeah,
just
I
disappeared.
don't know what. Yeah, they're known. Well, they're known to do. No, Brad Bell is known to do that. I'll sit there and say, especially with YNR. You know, like people said they wonder, is Allie coming back? Are they gonna get Noah back? And it's like, remember those characters? Like, remember Moses
I
and
don't think I've
Faith?
seen Moses before. I might
I,
have,
I, I,
but it's been a long, long time, so I
yeah,
couldn't pick him out of
exactly,
a lineup. But yeah,
exactly.
I know the teen Faith. She's on the Chucky show. She's playing a
Oh,
real
okay.
bitch. She's playing a real bitch. I was like, Faith. But it's a really good show if you watch it. Really weird, of course, if you ever saw the movie.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, I'm watching. I've seen a lot of the movies, so it's like, I guess for me, it's like watching the movies and be like, oh, you're gonna watch Chucky the series. It was like a series, like not actually a movie. Like, I don't know. I I don't think. I mean, I would give it a chance if when I actually get the time. I think that's pretty much what it comes down to.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I did grow up. I was a huge horror fan. I still am. So, and Chucky was something that I watched when I was a kid, like I wasn't supposed to. Um,
Me too.
but you, but a movie actually I do want to sit there and watch. What is it called? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
What?
So yeah, they made
What the world?
yeah, no, they made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Now why
You
would
didn't hear
they
about that?
do that? Oh, Lordy. They just do anything these days.
On the side note, some people were so pissed off. Um, they were coming at this one actor or the person that directed it, and it was like, "You ruined my childhood," and this, that, and the third, and like these people were going, like these people lost their minds.
Nobody told you to watch it. But now I'm
But
curious. I'm curious about this. Even though that's
you
my
didn't
boy.
hear about that?
No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
To be fair, I only heard about it because one of my subscribers just sent it there telling me because she always talks about different horror movies and stuff like that because she knows I'm a horror person. And she was like, "Yeah, they're coming out with they're also they're coming out with a Winnie the Pooh horror movie." And then she was sent this thing, they're coming out with a Bambi horror movie. They're coming out with a Peter Pan horror movie. I mean, listen,
Just
if they were going out their way to, yeah, exactly. If they were going out their way to, I guess, mess up people's childhoods,
Mhm.
they're doing it with a vengeance at this point. Like, they're just giving no F's, and I'm here for it.
Mhm.
But
We'll
yeah.
see.
So we got GH. Yeah, GH. What do you think of GH? What do you think of Sonny? Beating the feds, um, and then just finding coffee in those crates.
I was like, oh, that was just so overly dramatic. It's like they arrest him, then they show him once, and then next thing he's in court and bam, he's free. What? Had everybody all worried just to get released the next day. I'm like, Lordy, this soap. And then it was like all confusing because they were making it seem like maybe somebody got the flash drive out the trash can. Maybe Josh had something to do with it, but then it was just the flash drive that Betty gave Mason.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty crazy. Yeah, I know. It was a little kind of off. Um, damn. I to be fair, Nikisha, I'm not surprised. I did see the previews. I still want to watch it anyway, but it does look like your typical slasher movie. Um, but yep, that's right, J Blue. Winnie the Pooh, horror movie. but yes, but here's the thing though. I felt like they did all of that to try to make it seem like it was more dramatic than what it was. You know,
Mhm.
like, oh, maybe Sonny will go to jail this time. Maybe he'll, And the thing that was so funny was that Dexter Smith did blaming himself. He was like, "Oh, I can't believe that I was so careless," And Johnson's like, "That's Sonny's fault. He chose his life of crime." And I'm like, as much as I don't like Jocelyn, she has a point. You know, Lena running around all scared. I'm like, Nina, you're not cut out for this life. You're
But she
not.
said she is. Lordy.
Are you a Nina and Sonny fan? Do you like Nina and Sonny together?
I used to, now I don't know. Well, they don't really get to have the moments like they used to. When he was with Mike, when he was Mike, and then after they got together, well, before they became official, they still had those moments, and then after being official, then then it's just kind of like gone downhill. It's more of her trying to stick it to Carly than it is them being together. So it's like, eh, it's fizzled, kind of like Chase in Brooklyn. That the me caring about them is like gone. It's just Anna
Mm,
and Valentine, and I hate to say it, but I love Spencer and Trina, but their stuff is starting. No, I can't with them right now. But it's not Esme and Spencer doing stupid stuff. I'm like, oh lordy, I can't with them.
yeah,
And just talking about her going to school, it's like, oh, you're doing all this just to get a piece of paper. And I'm like, what? It is more than just a
yeah,
piece of paper. I was like, don't down her just because she wants to get an education. I'm like, no, you don't do that. You're supposed to support your lady if she wants to go and get an education, you know.
yeah.
Like, what are they doing
I
with that?
agree. But to be fair, he grew up with money, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't, what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't understand the value of an education and working and things of that nature. Like, he doesn't get that. So
Yeah.
there's a certain level of arrogance that comes with him. So I'm not surprised, but I do feel like Esme is going to do something to ruin their loving in the afternoon if they ever get to that point.
Yep.
Because
I had
why not?
yeah, her eavesdropping. I'm like, she's so gonna do something. I just see it. Either she's gonna stop them from going, or she's gonna find some way to go with them. I can just see it now, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I just hate this show. I was like, oh, I just want to turn off my TV, but I'm like, no, I want to see what happens at the end. Lordy. But I don't know. It's just too much drama for them. It's like they never even had an opportunity to just be happy together. You know, it was, after the kidnapping with Victor and stuff, you think, oh, they could finally be together. But no, it was Esme and Ace, and then, Curtis and Portia drama stuff. It's like, Lordy. All this is just too much for a young couple that's not really been a couple.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people are, complaining about that. And I look at it and I think, one, it's a soap opera. They're going to sit there. If they just had them be happy, it would be boring.
Yeah.
Two, um, the fact that they have more obstacles than Joss, because this is what a lot of people sit there and say about Joss and Dax. All they did, all they did was literally sit there and just had loving in the afternoon. You know, like there
Mhm.
was no obstacles or anything like that. They were just boom, 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 boom. And then when they weren't sitting there banging each other, Jocelyn was constantly complaining about Sonny. So it's one of those things where it's like I felt like Sabrina was a lot more interesting than Jocelyn because they didn't really, what I'm saying, there was really no obstacles or anything like that. They just got together, they sexed it up like about 1,000 times, and
Yeah,
there was
very
really yeah, there was really no build up to it. At least with Sabrina, they actually had stuff going on. Um, they was involved in the whole Hunter Star thing. Like it was fun to sit there and watch.
yeah, that was
Um, but
fun.
but
That's my favorite storyline of the year. I think that whole stuff was good. Though I miss Victor, but still, yeah, it was time for him to go. Can't really do much with him after all of that stuff. But yeah, I understand that. Got to keep it interesting. But at least have them be happy for a few minutes, and then okay, let's bring the drama back, or do some different drama than it's still being with Esme. You know, put something else in it. Portia not liking them. That's enough drama. That's enough drama for them. They don't need to throw in Esme and Ace, who we don't even know if Ace is even Nicholas's. Nobody ever did a DNA test. Nobody even thought about doing a DNA test. They just assumed.
which is so stupid. What's good, Danny? What's good, Gemini? Yes, it's so dumb. It's
Mhm.
so dumb. Um, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I do, but sometimes I look at it and I'm like, they can't always please everyone, right? Like, yeah,
Fair.
I can sit there. I can see where they dropped the ball with them.
Mhm.
Um, and you know what? I'll have to tell you the truth. I'll leave it at that because I have some thoughts, but I'm not gonna say it because yeah,
Say it.
it's not good. No, no,
Say it.
no, 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 no.
Say it. Yeah, say it now. I'm interested.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you off camera. I'm not gonna sit there and say yeah. Yeah,
Boo.
yeah. But it is what it is. Now, what do you think of Blair coming back?
Um, it's cool because I like Cassie the Piva, and Blair is one of my favorite one of my favorite couples, one of my favorite characters on One Life to Live. But I don't know about this storyline. It's kind of like it's interesting, but at the same time, like what? But it's cool. Her working with Tracy because Tracy and Blair working together. Like never thought I would ever see that happening. But that's funny. Leave me alone, Rocky. It's the world. But yeah, their scheme is funny. So she's tired of paying Martin, so she's trying to make his girlfriend poor so she would marry him.
Yeah, do you understand? You understand how much of a convoluted, stupid plan that is? Oh, let's make her poor so this way she can marry him, or he could just sit there and just give her some money and just spend it out that way. Like why?
Mhm.
Like it's so dumb. Why would she have to marry him? That's the part that's so stupid. That's her way of getting rid of Martins by what? See, I can't even sit there and re-say that because it just sounds so convoluted and stupid.
Yeah, she could have. Well, since she's the one that came up with the Deceptor and he told Lucy about it, she could have like blackmailed him into, like, hey, I'm going to tell your girl that you really did steal it. It's like, so I stop paying you or I break you and Lucy up. She could have did
Yeah,
that. Or
exactly,
she could have
exactly.
sent
Any
Victor
other
to do
way? Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting there looking. I was like, how is that even gonna work? She's gonna go broke and magically be like, oh, I'm broke now. Can we get married this way? I don't have to live on the streets. Could we do that? Like what?
that. Martin's going to need the money even more now.
Yeah, and she knows about the plan. I mean, she knows about the fact that he only keeps this money if he doesn't marry somebody else. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really understand that. Now, going on Valentine and exactly exactly Nikisha, um, going on Valentine and Anna, I'm like I don't understand. So Anna, confronts Valentine about him lying, and then you
Mhm.
decide to go back into the hotel with him. You just decide, oh. Let's just go to sleep. Like what? You can't trust this guy, but you're just gonna go back to the hotel to sit there and sleep it off? Like,
Rocky, stop. Yeah, I was confused about that too. I mean, I loved them together, but I thought Anna would have kicked him out the room and be like, go get your own room. But no, she's like, let's just go to bed mad.
yeah, let's go to bed
Like
mad.
they're a
That's.
married couple. I
I
was
don't understand how
like,
you go. I don't understand. I don't understand how you go bed. I don't understand how you sleep next to somebody that you don't trust.
"Mm."
That's the part that's just like blows me right there.
I guess she doesn't. Maybe he's really warm, keep it nice and warm at night. Might
Nah,
know.
you can get some, exactly. You can sit there and get some extra blankets for that. Get some extra blankets. Get a
Well,
little toy. I'll sit there and say and call it a wrap.
no, I guess she wants to keep him close so she can find out more stuff,
Keep
I
'em-
guess. That's why I thought it was
Yeah,
surprising that she confronted him about it. I was like, I thought her and Dante, agreed to like keep it quiet so he didn't know what was going on. It'd be easier to go
yes.
after him. But she was just mad and was like, what is this? Oh, Lordy. But, and it's all I tore up her room. I'm like, what in the world? And then wrote on the mirror, like, they didn't even seem like they were gone that long. Who had the time to do all that?
Probably Alex.
uh, yes, sister. But I was like, so I'm wondering what in the world did she do that was so bad to this person? 'Cause I
Probably
do
ruin
still
her
think
life.
it's a woman.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes. Why? Because the whole burning down the house thing isn't really something a man would do.
yeah, and the way that the person walked in, those legs look like woman legs.
I would
But
have to look at it again. Yeah.
women are just, their revenge is just so much worse than a man's revenge. They're gonna burn up your stuff, cut up your stuff, blow up your car, very dramatic stuff.
Very waiting to exhale kind of vibe.
Yes, I could totally see this being a woman somehow, but who? Yeah, I've thought about Alex, but I'm not sure. What other woman would it be? I'm trying to think of the ones that I would know of. Hmm. But who knows with General Hospital? They probably don't even know yet. And they'll just come up with somebody else that's in prison to be the one going after me. But they need to drop some more clues or something. And I really hope that Valentine is not directly connected to all this. Because then, yeah, Anna would definitely be done with him. And
Mm,
can't be breaking up
probably
all
for a
my
little bit.
can't be breaking up all my couples. That's just not nice.
Well, maybe if they do, they'll hook Nina back up with Valentine.
Oh, lordy. At this point, he probably would be the only one that would take her back.
Yeah. I mean, she don't really have. I mean, think about she. What other options does she have at this point?
Yeah, Franco's dead, and nobody's gonna like what she did to Carly and Drew since everybody likes them all of a sudden. So, there's Cyrus.
That question's for you.
Uh, so then about how Mason was in that scene and they didn't know who the other person was. Was was that the bar scene?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, so exactly. Tell Danny Bear about how Mason was in that scene and didn't know who the other person was. Oh, I don't really get it.
Oh, is that when he met somebody? Was that same episode when we found out the boss was Cyrus, or
Yes.
and he met somebody else outside, but they didn't say who it was. It's just like the camera walked up to him. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so, maybe. I guess. I know I'm not drunk because I didn't start drinking yet. Oh, yeah, my memory is short the hell. I would tell Danny Bear about how Mason was in that scene and he didn't know who the other person was. Oh, yes, when they were outside. Yes, that's what she's talking about. And he says yes when he yes when he filmed it, Doug didn't even know who it was. Remember that scene where he was outside, he was talking to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah. So is that the real boss? So I don't believe that Cyrus is the main boss. Because I was thinking maybe the warden, since she's the one that told him to find a way to get Sunny. But then who was Cyrus meeting? So I know it wasn't Nicholas because he wouldn't have been out in the open like that.
Oh, this is another one for you, Danny.
Uh, and what is her take on fans who harass Marcus on Twitter because they were blaming him for bad writing? I always thought that was stupid. Yeah, General Hospital fans, they do. Some of them just get too into the show and they can't tell real from real. But that's not Marcus's fault. He didn't write the show. The show just wrote bad material for Nicholas, and he didn't seem all that interested in playing the role, really. Which I don't blame him and why he left. But it's not
Yeah,
his fault for what happened. That's all on the writers, and you can't blame that actor about the writers. But I think some people just didn't like him in general because they're Tyler Christopher fans. And I think he's the only one that can play Nicholas, which is not true. Because Adam does a really awesome job as Nicholas, and Marcus was really good in the beginning, but just it just showed that he was losing interest, kind of like with Billy Miller. When they switched him to Drew, that's when you just tell that he wasn't really into the role anymore. I mean, it happens,
yeah,
but some General Hospital fans, yeah, because they jump on him, they jump on there's Cynthia, who plays Nina. Is that her real name, Cynthia? Yeah, they
yep.
jump on
Cynthia
her
Watros. Yep.
too. They jump on her about Nina. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm not on Twitter anymore. They just jump on her about Nina stuff. I'm like, she doesn't write the show. She just plays the character. And Maurice has said many times that he enjoys working with her. So it's not like he's being forced to work with her. Like, he's even told them, I believe, to leave her alone. I just don't understand fans. I think some of them just have too much time on their hands, honestly. And it's like, what? Like, I mean, sometimes I don't have a life, but I don't bug other people about stuff on Twitter like that. That's rude. You
Yeah,
know, block, block, block,
and
block.
and yes, Nikish. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. R.I.P. Billy Miller. Now, here's the thing. I would sit there and say, "What the okay?" Um, seriously? Yeah, and now with the whole Jason and being Jason, I understood why he was annoyed, because he got signed on for this role. The actor decided, oh, I want to come back now and be Jason, and it's like, okay, so what are you gonna say? So now you're just gonna bump him to another character. I would be upset as well. I mean, yeah, you're paid to do a job and stuff like that, and nothing's guaranteed. But I do understand, if you're signed on for this role and then the actor comes back and wants to take it, it's like, and then you just give it to him. Yeah, I can sit there and see being a little slight about that.
Yeah, that's rude because you put all this time into making this character, portraying Jason in a different way. because he made the character Jason very interesting, between, his portrayal and Ron's writing, really made Jason an interesting character, not just like a one note, deadbeat looking dude like, Steve was playing him with all the other writers that were writing for him, and then Steve comes back and is like, I want my job. And then, they started writing Jason, undoing everything that Ron did with the character, Ron and Billy did with the character, and just made him the same thing. Like, what?
Yeah,
I would have been. It's like when you're at like any other job, like you work on this big project and it gets handed off to somebody else, and they just do whatever they want to it. It's like that hurts. Yeah, and then a less interesting character is like, well, I mean, they made up a whole character for him, but still, there's nothing really interesting about Drew, honestly. That's stupid. And then, Kelly didn't like it either. And yeah, fans got on her too for that. That's why she's not on there that much. It's like, Lordy, just I didn't like it. That was just messed up.
I was getting to it, Ron. Just in a quick little side note, somebody said that they were gonna. This happened about a year ago. That somebody threatened Cynthia, saying that they were gonna slap her in real life because they don't like Nina being with Sonny. So this person said that if I see you in the streets, we going in. But see, here's the thing though. This is on Twitter, right? And I always sit there and say Twitter is the Wild West, right? Twitter is the Wild West. Like, you can say things on Twitter that you can't even say on Instagram. Even Instagram will sit there when you start writing something, they'll sit and be like, whoa, 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 you can't say that. Twitter will just allow you to say whatever the F you want, and that's just how it is. This is why I'm always sitting there looking at Maurice Bernard, because I feel like sometimes he spends way too much time on social media, interacting with people, and not everyone will sit there and say sane. So, I always sit there and I look at it and I'm like, it sucks because they're people just like us, but yet they can't sit there, and make tweets and stuff like that because they always got to sit there and get, some jackass coming at them sideways like they do at with Laura Ray.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't miss about Twitter. I mean, there's some cool people I've met on there, but just General Hospital fans, big time. Going after the actors or just talking crap about every single thing that's on the show. Like, what? Because some of the stuff I watch, I've been liking. I'm like, I'm sure Twitter tore us apart and said that this was stupid. I was like, so I still don't get going after the actors. It's like, they're not their character. They're just playing the character. And some of the actors are like complete opposites of their characters. It's like they'll play like a real bitch or asshole, but then they're like the sweetest people in real life. It's like,
or sometimes it's reverse. Sometimes it's reverse. I was talking about Indigo. I think his name is the dude that plays Jax or whatever, right? And granted, he's not. Exactly. And granted, he's not a terrible person, but he's one of those people that went on social media and said something that it wasn't transphobic, but it was ignorant, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those things where it's like, this is why you have to be careful about going on social media and saying stuff, because then he had to sit there and walk it back. He had to sit there and because he said something about the actress that plays Terry. And then he walked it back by saying, well, she's a very attractive woman. And I'm just like, bro, you just stop. Because like at this point, now you're just digging yourself a hole. Exactly. Now you're just digging yourself a hole to one. Sometimes with them, it's like maybe like, and this is what I was talking about with DC. I was like, back then, the year 2000, when we didn't really have social media that much, we didn't let what the actor like. We didn't know much about the actors, so it didn't really affect our viewing as far as watching them on TV. But now it's like, oh, you found out that somebody supports Trump, and it's like, oh, I don't want to watch them anymore. And it's like, what
Mm-hmm.
is their political views actually anything to do with their character?
Yeah,
You know?
nothing to do with them. I was like, if you want to support Trump, then that's your business, you know. Just like it's your, just like you don't want somebody to tell you that you shouldn't support what you support, then don't tell other people what they shouldn't support. It's like, what is it your business what people do? I was like, as long as they're not hurting somebody else, then what's your business with knowing their business? You
Yeah.
know.
And that's the same thing with the actress that plays Alexis. You know, she's very vocal about, you know, her political. Exactly. Yeah, you know.
I love
You already know.
Nancy. She is not shy about nothing. I always love reading her tweets. She don't care.
Yeah, and I get that, but it's one of those things where it's like it sucks, right? Because yeah, okay, so she's a Democrat and yada yada yada, but it doesn't have anything to do with her character. But yet people will constantly go at her in the comment section. And it's like, oh, I think your character sucks, and this, that, and the third, and you know, you support Biden. And it's like, why are we
Why do you follow her or read her tweets if you don't like her?
exactly? Because people love to sit there and follow people that they hate.
Hmm.
There's some people that just loves drama. That's what it comes down to. Their own life is just an empty wasteland, and so this is what they do.
Yeah, I got enough problems in my life. When I go online, I want to talk about fun stuff or laugh at stuff that's just really stupid. Share stupid memes like I do in some groups on Facebook. I don't want to go on here and read about politics and people not liking people. I'm like, I mean, if we're talking about characters on a soap opera, okay. But if you're talking about the actors and comparing them to their characters or their political views, then that's when I'm like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that you still have your Twitter account then.
Yeah.
Are you
So,
on Instagram?
yeah, I'm on Instagram, but I don't really go on there that often. I mean, I'll post pictures of my diamond art when I'm finished, but not so much going on there just to look at stuff because most of the time it's like as soon as I get on Instagram, it's like somebody like half naked or doing some weird dance.
Well,
I'm
it's, I
like,
mean, that's kind of reasons why I actually do go on there though. It's for those exact reasons that you just said.
I'm like, I mean, I don't mind seeing it, but let me ease into those kind of things. Not the first thing I see. Like when I was following Britney Spears, every time I go on there, she's got like stuff covering up her nipples, and she's like laying there naked and stuff. Like, girl, Lordy, I had to unfollow her because she just had too much going on. I love her, but yeah, sometimes if you love somebody, you got to take a break from them.
But yeah, and it's funny too because like I was out a couple weeks ago and I was on Instagram, right? I was just on Instagram. I would sit there and check some stuff, but stuff came up, right? I'll sit there and say stuff came up, and my friend was sitting there like, "Yo, you sitting there watching like porn or whatever?" I was like, "No, this is Instagram." But at this point, it might as well have been like. And granted, that's just me opening up, sit there and try to check my messages. But of course, that's the first thing that people see. So you know.
I'm like, how does it stay up on Instagram? But somebody else's pic that doesn't even look that bad gets blocked. I'm like, what? I'm like, they just pick and choose what they keep on there or something. But it's funny. Sometimes it's like funny. Sometimes I'm like half asleep and I pull up Instagram and like, oh wow. Now I'm wide awake. Like, how did you do that? I'm just But it's funny, and sometimes I'm like, what? No, turn that off.
Yeah, and Gemini makes a good point. Instagram chooses when they want to block someone,
Mm,
um, which is yeah. But I feel like that's like with most social medias, and how even YouTube sometimes it's like you post something, you make a video, it's like certain people will get more special treatment than other people. I feel like this way. I feel like YouTube is a little bit more balanced than like let's say Twitch. I'll sit there and say that much.
I haven't been on Twitch before. I think I was on there like
Yeah,
once, but I think I have a Twitch account, but I never like really like spend any time on there.
I tried Twitch for a little bit, but like Twitch, see the thing about Twitch and YouTube is that YouTube you can sit there and get known and discover a lot more fast. With Twitch, it's like you have certain people that are really known and really famous, and that's pretty much what they cater to. So if you don't really have a lot of followers, you're not going to really get known or like showcased or anything like that. And I'm not a fan of that, so that's why I'm always just on YouTube instead.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because sometimes YouTube just, I watch a certain type of videos. Like sometimes I'll watch like diamond art videos, and then I sit and I'm just like getting suggestions for all these other people. I'm like, they only have like a few videos, and I'm like, they just started their channel and I already discovered. And I was like, oh, I'm like first to the table or something.
Exactly, but is that and that's the thing, and they don't do that on Twitch though, so it's like you can't really get like discovered and stuff like that. Now what I would sit there and ask you before we sit there and wrap this up, with so many different, and I'm pretty sure I asked you this before, but with so many different like soap opera channels, what do you think that you do that makes your channel stand out from theirs?
um, Being weird.
Okay, all right, I like that. I like
weird.
that.
My
It's good.
weird, my weird takes on what's going on, and just my random, just like tangents. That's what it is. Just like I'm like
Random
talking about the
tangent.
show, and then all of a sudden I'm just talking about a entirely different experience I had or something I've seen. Then I'm like, oops, my bad. I'm supposed to be talking about this show. I think I do it a lot more with General Hospital. That's why my reviews are like so much longer than days because I just go on some crazy tangents, or I just talking about, it's like something happened, and then I go back to a past storyline talking about that, and I'm like, oh, just talk about what's going on now, not back then. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. Weird and just going off on tangents. I like that.
Yeah, because
I
never
was
know, never know when you'll hear from me, hear about me. Like some of the stuff I think of beforehand that I was going to talk about, and then others is like as I'm talking, I just start thinking about something else, and next thing you know, it's 30 minutes later and I haven't finished talking about what happened this week.
and that comments for you.
And you're funny. I like your jokes. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very. That's why I say you're very bubbly and very upbeat and stuff like that, and that's a good thing. That definitely, you know, that positivity is very unique, and some people don't have that. I'm not a very bubbly person, so that's why I always like sitting there doing reviews with you because you balance out um me being such a dick. And
Yeah.
plus, you have a cute laugh. So
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I try not to laugh because sometimes if I start laughing, I might just keep
we'll keep
laughing.
laughing.
Stop laughing. Stop laughing. And I tell myself, stop laughing. Now, I remember one General Hospital review I did, just something at the end. Oh, I was talking about, it was during that storyline when they were, Cody first came on, and they were talking about Sierra getting in trouble for trying to save the whales or something or the dolphins. And I don't know, I said something and I just kept starting laughing at that. And I was trying to end the show or end the video, and I just couldn't stop laughing about it. I'm like, okay, I'm in the video now. Yes, that's why I try not to laugh because then I'll just ruin the video. Especially if I'm like almost at the end. I'm like, I'm not gonna want to do this all over again.
Well, no, you shouldn't. And no, I'm not. No, Jim and I am not bubbly. I'm pretty sure I'm the exact opposite of bubbly. No, but that's good though. You know, people come to people's channels to have a good time. Um, and seeing you have a good time is an infectious thing. So
Yeah,
exactly, like Nikisha says, laughing is the best medicine.
very
Um,
true.
that's cool. That's cool. I just, I'm always curious about that. I always sit there and ask different people when they do their channels, like, what makes you stand out? Because, like, I was at work and I was on my phone like I wasn't supposed to be. And, I'm sitting there looking through all these different channels, and it's like 20 something channels of people talking about soaps. And I'm just like it's so many channels that sit there and talk about. So I mean, granted, they have different formats. Some of them
Mhm.
they don't necessarily do reviews. It's more like Access Hollywood, just talking about spoilers and stuff. But it's still just soap opera content or content creators, and it's just like I don't, I guess for me, I'm always surprised like so many people is in this one genre, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's a
and
lot
they
of
have
men too. There's a
yeah,
lot of
they have
men.
different. That's what I was surprised about too. It's like a lot of guys watch soaps. I'm like, that's really cool. I like that.
But yes, I think at this point I think we kind of covered pretty much everything. But
Yeah.
again, I want to sit there and thank Danny Bear 87 for coming through um, with your presence and your bubbliness, and you know, I just want to sit there and say one more time just how much that Danny Bear loves Victor Newman, aka the Great Victor. Favorite character, right, Danny?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. You know you love that mustache.
Mr. Mustache.
But you know what? To be fair, I did like that comment that you had back though. You know a comment
You're
that you said, right?
you're a Nina lover.
Yeah, I'm a Nina lover. Yes. See, this is why I rock with Danny. This is why, because of her awesome sense of humor. I love it. Um, and of course, Ron loves Sheila Carter because why not? Want that
Yeah,
chick to be having like,
who doesn't love Sheila? She's awesome.
well,
She's
yeah,
really
she
innocent.
he wants Sheila to have like twins or triplets or something like that. And this
That
chick
would
is
have
like
been a
70
great
something years old.
storyline.
That
Trying to
would have
figure
been a
out
great
who the daddy
storyline.
was. Yeah, and Sheila making
Ron.
her think it was Bill, but really it was Deacon. Yeah, and then Bill could be messing with Deacon, trying to get dirt on Sheila. Be like, you either help me get dirt on Sheila, or I'm gonna tell everybody you the baby daddy. That would have been a great
See,
storyline.
Ron, make sure you subscribe to Danny Bear's channel. Make sure you subscribe to Danny. See, I just got a new fan. You got a new fan, Danny. Got a new fan. Thank you, Nikisha. Thank you, Ambassador Sam. Thank you, everyone. This is a lot of fun. So stay safe. If you are a member, well, I'll see you in about, I don't know, an hour. For everyone else, I'll sit there and see you tomorrow. And yeah, so have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, and we will see you in the
Bye.
next live stream. Laters.